Hello, this is Ankit Reddy. Welcome to the Dotnet course from educators.com, world's best online training tutorial for the leading technologies. Today we discuss about why to go for .NET instead of other technologies on .NET Framework class library. So why do we go for only .NET as a, like this Microsoft Visual Studio .NET? We'll be calling with a full name Microsoft Visual Studio .NET or the short name .NET. There are some useful things with Microsoft .NET. Let us see that we're letting in a notepad. What we can do with .NET? With .NET, we can have a rapid development using Visual Studio. Is one of the important reason we'll be going with Microsoft Visual Studio .NET framework. Rapid development using Microsoft Visual Studio is one of the important reason. The faster one finishes the project, the better. The other reason is .NET platform supports plenty of languages. Supports plenty of languages, so including C#, VB.NET, JSharp.NET, VC++, like this. There are many languages are covered under .NET Framework umbrella. So here you have an option to learn your favorite language, either C# or VB. But this option is not there with other technologies. Suppose if you take a Java technologies, you need to learn Java. That's it. There is no other option. But there is a big debate will be going on in the internet. If you can verify that is the Java is good or .NET is good. Definitely, there are followers are there for both, and there are each have their own advantages. So don't go for a debate or argument. So other reasons are attributes to the fact that .NET is an active community with major releases, many helpful frameworks such as Entity Framework. Still, there is a combination of these questions, which is better, Java versus .NET. The first question we need to ask, can these two be compared? So we cannot compare actually, but still people will be having a comparison. .NET supports multiple languages. Just now I said that, right? Plenty of language it supports. So by this we can have much, right? Much faster development. How it is a much faster development? In a sense, we have a great IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Even though we have IDEs for other languages, but compared to this .NET IDE, there are more features in this IDE. We cannot find this kind of features in other languages. By this, we'll be having ease of development. Easy development IDE. This is called easy development IDE. Again, both technologies have their own advantages. .NET is if the application is Windows platform specific. Suppose if an application you are working, if it is a Windows based application, again there are certain disadvantages we discussed, but still if you wanted to use Windows application only, sometimes we cannot go with Windows web applications because we wanted to go standalone applications. That time we should depend on Windows application. Then if your choice is Windows application, please go ahead with .NET. It's the best choice for you. .NET is a language independent, so if the team has multiple skilled experts, suppose within your team having like C# guy is there, VB guy is there, J# guy is there, so that we can utilize them, all of them. So developers can still work on the same project with different skill set. We don't need to ask them to go for training for this other languages. So if anybody learned V.NET or C#.NET, under this comes Visual Studio only. Debugging is very effortless, therefore we can fix bugs quicker. And Java is also there. Java is a platform independent, and Java is having one of the biggest advantages, open source. But .NET is not open source. You need to pay for it. Then only you can get these softwares. Still we have some free editions. Those we can utilize it for practice purpose. But in order to go with any organization or any institute, you please buy the software. Don't go with the pirated softwares. Kill piracy. Okay. So like this we can have some advantages over other. Definitely Java is open source, but .NET is not an open source. I told you here why to go for .NET instead of other technologies. Now, what is a .NET framework? A class library called. So this is also one of the topic we'll discuss in this session. A framework class library, a short form we call it as FCL. What is this FCL? Let us see in detail. A .NET framework, this one, a framework class library organized in a hierarchical tree structure and is divided into namespaces. So it is organized in a hierarchical structure. That is tree structure it is. And again it is divided into namespaces. Hope you remember the namespace definition. Otherwise, please watch my earlier video. There I have given a definition for namespace. Again, I am telling you, namespace is a logical grouping of types. Let me type here. Namespace is a logical grouping of types for the purpose of identification. So you have same names. You wanted to differentiate those names. We can use namespaces. Namespace is a collection of classes I told. So namespace is a logical grouping of type. A type is again we can imagine here a class also. A class is also type. Again there are other classes on data types. We'll discuss in a great detail. When we get this topic, definitely you can understand what type is called. You can replace this types word here, classes. Namespace is a logical grouping of classes for the purpose of identification. Okay. Framework class library provides the consistent base types that are used across all .NET enabled languages. So the classes are accessed by namespaces which reside within assemblies. So just have a representation like this. Class will be there under namespace and namespace will be there under assemblies. So this is the structure. Assemblies is a collection of namespace, namespace is a collection of classes, class is a collection of methods again. So this is a tree structure. The system namespace is the root for all the .NET framework. System namespace is the root for the types in .NET framework. So whatever you take inside a .NET framework, that should be coming from system. So whenever we open a Visual Studio application, the first and foremost line will be this line, using system. Then only your application program will start. The first and foremost line is using system, from which only all the namespace will be coming. That's what I told here. System namespace is the root for the types in .NET framework. So .NET framework class library classes are managed. FCL classes are managed classes that provide access to system services. So these FCL are object oriented and easy to use in program developments. Moreover, third-party components can integrate with the classes in the .NET framework. Even third-party components can integrate with the classes in the .NET framework. So this is what about framework class library, FCL we call it as shortly. Just remember that a framework is providing some libraries. Those are called class libraries. So only the name itself called as framework class library, which is organized in a hierarchical tree structure and it is divided into namespace. So namespace is a collection of classes again. Class will be there under namespace, namespace will be there under assemblies. Like this it will be there. And this is the definition of namespace. Namespace is a logical grouping of types for the purpose of identification. So to avoid ambiguity of the names identification, we'll be using namespace. Namespace is a logical grouping of types for the purpose of identification. Understand this? So we have covered in this session why to go for .NET instead of other technologies. The major reason is rapid development with the great help of IDE and .NET Framework class library we have seen. In the next video we can see that CLR, CTS, MSAL and IT, JIT explanations, and thank you for watching my video. We'll be meeting for other session.